Hi guys, thanks for tuning in to Zen Romance Tarot. We're going to take a look at Gemini. I did meditate over these cards and we're going to take a look and see what's going on. Just a really quick reading. Nothing long and drawn out. Okay, Gemini, what's up? So I pulled your card, the main energy, and we came up with protection. Protection, reversed, is the warrior goddess. She stands on a threshold between two worlds. Behind her portal is a golden sword, where she protects a mysterious kingdom. So you could be not revealing some sides of yourself, and that's about to change, I think. This card is saying that there are certain phases of life that you have to go through. And you may have been fighting going through these in the past, but there are some initiations that you must go through with life challenges. Something kind of like that. It's reversed, so I'm assuming that you have an idea that this is going on, right? There are some changes that are in your life, but I think you might be trying to ignore them. Or see how long you can put them off. Oh, well, I'll tell you. Alright, guys. Okay. So, Gemini, when I was pulling your cards, the Five of Pentacles came up. So, you might be having some issues with money. You're expecting money to come from somewhere. Money is really tight at this point. Now, I don't know if this is the past or if this is right now. This looks like it could have been the past. Because it looks like there was something that happened with money. Some unexpected change. Like somebody could have lost a job. Or somebody was leaning on you too heavy for money or something to that effect. But the money that you expected you didn't get. Or something happened where there was a stop in money. I think that may have led you to understand that you needed to clear your whole past. I think the money problems plus things that were coming up in your past from relationships, you could have ended a relationship here. Something could have happened with money. Somebody could have lost a job and a relationship could have ended. Or somebody's job could have ended. Or this is you tying up loose ends to some situation having to do with your past. Because this card is telling us that you need a clean slate. So you could be tying up loose ends. So up here we see that there's some kind of issue with money, but we also see that there could be an issue. Oh, obviously you're holding on too tight to money. Like you're trying to hold on to what you got, materials, goods, whatever it is. You're not really playing with it. You're just holding on to it. You feel like there's something that you need to be prepared for. You know something is coming, something about to hit the fan, and you know it. So you like, all right, I'm gonna hold on to everything. But your attitude towards this whole thing is kind of like you don't want things to change. You want them to stay the same. But your finances changed up here. And there's some other things going on. It looks like in relationships or something where you had to tie some stuff up. But there was some concern with money. I also think that you might have been in a relationship that could have been a little too traditional for you. It might have been very traditional. Because it says, when I was doing the reading on it, this could have been a really stable connection that you have with somebody. The relationship was running smooth. It didn't appear to be any issues. But for some reason you rejected. There was something that you rejected where you wanted to do things your own way. So if you were in a traditional relationship, you could have felt like somebody could have been suggesting marriage or wanting to get closer than you really wanted to. Or maybe you were maybe your intentions for being there in the first place weren't kosher. But this person did offer you stability. That's what it looks like. But it looks like you may have rejected that. You wanted to do your own thing. You wanted to only be accountable for your own actions. You weren't really worrying about anybody else. Here nor there, something wound up falling apart. So instead of choosing to go the traditional route, I think in this instance, you chose not to be traditional, where the person you were with probably was traditional. And ultimately because of I think it's because of what you thought. I feel like maybe somebody in this connection maybe said something to you where it felt a little too like, oh wow, that's a little too much. It's too much of a commitment, I guess, if that makes any sense. And you really didn't want to deal with that. So it ultimately fell apart. But I don't think you were surprised by it, because this is something you knew about. You knew it wasn't going to work whenever you have a traditional relationship and then the Hyphorant comes up. There's some kind of rejection of traditionalism. So it ultimately fell apart. But now you're at a crossroads. And you're kind of like judging the situation. Ultimately, I believe you decide to leave. We'll take a look. Okay. So the Hangman. This is where you could have been struggling with materialism, and somebody, I think another reading had this same kind of vibe. You're struggling between the material world and the spiritual world. Then we have the Judgment card. It was a wake-up call from the universe, telling you that it's time to mature. Right? So ultimately, you must have been something that happened here. I feel like because something had to have happened, because ultimately you decide that you have to move away. You want to go into calmer waters. But I also see 4 major arcana cards here. So those are life changers. This is you maturing into somebody who was, I'm going to be honest with you guys, Gemini, I kind of feel like there may have been something that happened with job losses, or some dependency on money, or something having to do with money. Right? I think there were job losses. You had all this stuff going on, you had to tie up loose ends, and you forecast that something is going on with money. So you start holding on to all of your money. And then you're dealing with this relationship that may be boring to you, or a little bit too traditional to come home every night at the same time. Maybe that really wasn't your vibe. And so you kind of reject that. Ultimately, the relationship winds up falling apart. So now you're at this crossroads. You're like, okay, that's kind of what I want, but I'm still not over this. As in, like, it's stuck in between two worlds. So I'm pretty sure that the Judgment card is you morphing into some sort of maturity. And then you may have to move away. You obviously moved away from this situation, but I think it is an unknown journey. So it's calmer waters for you, but you don't know what to expect. And so that's where you are. Let me see what energy we have. I think these are angel messages. Dear Doreen Virtue. Ancestors. Ancestors, show me Gemini, please. Show me Gemini, please. Ancestors. Show me Gemini, please. Bold. Unleash your adventurous side. Take risks and be daring. So you are kind of on a journey into the unknown. So it's just going to be interesting to see how this plays out, the mature you being bold. I think you may be free to say whatever it is you want to say now, where there may have been a time before where you really couldn't be yourself. Why do I feel like this is about being yourself? I feel like maybe you had to be a chameleon in all these different situations, so you just know how to blend in wherever you are. But who you truly are peeks through it with this maturity. Ancestors, tell me. Transformation, yeah. You're experiencing enormous change right now, which brings some blessings, great blessings. Okay, so bull, butterfly, maiden, transformation. Right, I think that's Frigga, the first one. Ancestors, give me one more, please. One more for Gemini, please. Help polish this reading. Ancestors, one more. High Priestess, you have divine knowledge that can help others through your spiritual teachings. Okay. So whoever this person is that you decided to walk away from, Gemini, I see a lot of, well, I see Pisces,